Alrighty folks, so it is day 7 and we're doing our first check-in on our basil babies to see if any of them have germinated growing through the surface. For today's video, I want to break it down into 3 key areas. First, we're going to do that check-in, see if any of them have started to grow. Second, we're going to make a couple of observations in terms of where they're at, what we're seeing. And third, we're going to talk through what's next and what we should be doing over the course of the next 7 days. So let's go ahead and start diving in with that check-in. Well, I'm a little bit surprised, folks, but 7 days in and we already have a number of our basil babies that have come through the surface and are successfully growing. And this is a little bit surprising to me because basil is notoriously a little bit of a more challenging seed to get started and usually takes a little bit longer. So if you don't have any of your basil babies that have come through the surface just yet, don't stress and don't panic, don't worry too much. What you do want to be doing though is you want to be double checking on the environment that it's living in. So basil loves a really nice and warm environment. Make sure that it's at least 21, 22 Celsius. Second piece is make sure that from a moisture perspective, the seedling mix is staying nice and moist. Again, we want to be watering kind of every 2 to 3 days, but all of us have slightly different environments. So it's not going to be a exactly precise schedule of 48 hours is when it exactly needs to happen. That's going to depend a little bit on your environment. So that's the quick little check-in. Let's make a couple of observations about the plant now. So the first one is that as we can see here, there have been 5 or 6 of the basil seeds that have germinated. And with basil, with it being a more challenging one, I think I put kind of like 12 to 15 seeds in there. And the reason behind that is because every now and then some of them just simply won't start. And with basil in particular, it's a little bit more finicky. So I want to have more in there to give me that higher likelihood of success. The second piece is that when we look at basil, kind of height of growth here is very, very low. And this is very standard, very typical of a basil plant. So if you're looking at your basil, especially alongside some of your other plants like a zucchini that's going to set that couple leaves really, really large and quite tall and high up, it's going to look a lot different. So don't be concerned, don't be stressed if you think that your basil plants are sitting very close and low to the surface. That's exactly normal and common and good for basil plant behavior. The third piece is that the first set of leaves that are coming through, those are our seed leaves. And what I mean by our seed leaves is that when a plant is germinating, it pushes through this initial set of first leaves called its seed leaves. And all that those are trying to do is set up a little bit of a canopy to start getting some light coming in that it can then use to set its first set of true leaves. And so what we're going to notice over the course of the kind of coming 7 to 14 days is the first set and second set and third set of true leaves will begin to establish. They're going to look a little bit different than these seed leaves that we're looking at right now, and that is the plant really beginning to grow and turn into a basil plant. So that's just a couple of observations for right now. These plant babies are doing really, really well, really happy, really healthy, and that leads us to what do we do next with them. All right, so I hope that you have some plant babies on your end. The next video in this playlist is our day 21 check-in, where we're going to see the first true leaves on the plant beginning to emerge. So if you're on day 7, you have some little plant babies, I encourage you to go and view that video so that you can see once again what's kind of just ahead and what to be expecting over the course of the next couple weeks. And as always, if you have any questions on how to be growing basil or anything gardening or mindful gardening related, please do ask those down in the comments and I will get an answer over to you.